Hello, everybody. Welcome. I wonder what I'm going to talk about on this episode. Last episode is GTA, and the one before that it was AVP. Who knows what's in store this time? Or I might just throw you a curveball and just not talk for a majority of this episode. No, that's probably not going to happen. But I don't know. I do want to say though, this episode is largely shrine-based, as well. That was kind of a given, but but the last, I think, minute and a half is going to be live commentary, and you'll see, because I was intending to do, like a big giant episode of what you'll see later, and because it's the sword trials, because I meant to make that its own episode, but I quickly realized that's not gonna happen. I could barely do it on normal difficulty, and then I wasn't prepared enough. I just couldn't do it. I just could not seem to do the Master Trials. I just basically took all the deaths and just spliced it at the end, and because I was trying to do that as a live commentary episode, just like I did with the final battle with Ganon and the boss gauntlet with the Blights, I just kind of spliced it in at the end of this video, so you're gonna have some live commentary of me being annoyed at dying. So I'm probably gonna do my outro like right before you see those clips, But anyway, let's just focus on the shrines, shall we? Yeah. I'm watching this video and trying to think of the commentary that I want, because I like to be spontaneous, but I just realized I didn't go grab a drink. Damn. Oh well. I'll get one after I finish the commentary for this episode. But kind of in the mood to play Rocket League right now, but you want to know what? Why not, right? I might go play some Rocket League. I mean, I've done like the last episode was GTA, and the one before that was AVP, so this will be the third episode in a row. I've just done commentary after commentary trying to catch up. Since I've already had these videos recorded, and I just, do the commentary after I get them exported in my editing software, but, yeah, I might go play a little bit of Rocket League, after this, and try to catch up on my post-commentary stuff, tomorrow a little bit. But Rocket League is so much fun. Like, I mean, so since we're on the topic, I mean, like, I love Rocket League. Like, Rocket League is just, like, I know it's such a basic concept, but, like, it's so much fun. Like, more specifically, I love Rumble. I know there's probably a lot of people that are like, you're a Rumble player, oh god. But no, seriously, Rumble is such a fun mode, if only because of the sheer goddamn chaos of that mode. It's so cool. Yeah. You could tell I didn't have much to say about Rocket League. I bet that threw you guys off for a little bit. He went on and on about AVP and Grand Theft Auto in the last two episodes, and now he just... Nah, I mean, what's more to say about it? I like it as my favorite mode. it's a soccer game with cars with rockets. You know, like what can I say about it that you don't already know? but yeah, really do enjoy the game. But like I'm at that point, especially since I talked pretty consistently for the other episodes, you know, about GTA and AVP and stuff. I'm kind of at that point where, like, especially with the music of the shrines, like the music in the shrines is just so nice. Just that doom doom dun 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 dun. Like there's just something about it, you know. It just hits different, you know. It's so nice to listen to, and it's always been very relaxing. Zelda music in general has always been relaxing. Like, I don't know if any of you other people, you know, can relate to that, but there's just something about it. I mean, but then again, I forget why I paused there for a second. I probably talked to someone real quick, maybe, I don't know. But, so, but yeah, like, especially, like, Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time had amazing music. Ocarina of Time is my favorite Zelda out of all the Zeldas. Like, if there is if out of all of the Zelda games, if there was one that I had to highly encourage you to play, it'd be Ocarina of Time. Like, even though, again, it's an N64 game, so especially compared to modern games, it's kind of basic, I guess you could say. But but it's such a good game. It's such a good game. Good graphics for its time. Love the story. Combat, what wasn't as fluid as this, obviously. There wasn't flurry rushes, but still very good. It was just a very good game, you know? You know, had really good boss fights. Some of the boss fights, I think, were a bit more difficult than in this game. Especially, like, you know, the temple fights, like the bosses for the temples. I felt like Ocarina of Time had a bit more of a challenge factor to it. I could be wrong, though. But just the music, especially in key moments that really matter. Just the music, like, for the bosses and just... Oh god, now I'm going down memory lane in my head. Oh my god, I used to play that like once a year for ages back when I had the GameCube and I had the Zelda collection. Like, I just realized I need to do post-commentary more often. Because apparently I can't do live commentary, because I get way too focused on the game. But post-commentary, I can actually focus on what I want to say. But before I get back to the Zelda stuff, this was so that I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this, but I basically just reloaded to save so I didn't have to climb back up there. That's all I did. But yeah, it's just such a good, like, game. Like, I would play it like once every year. Sometimes more than that. Like, it was just a game that you could just come back to. Like, there hasn't been many games, like, not even, and I love the Mass Effect trilogy, don't get me wrong. I've put like 600 hours into the Mass Effect trilogy. But even the Mass Effect trilogy, with as much as I love it, it's not a game that I play like once every year. Like, you know, it's not a game where just at some point you just crave to play it, like I did with Ocarina of Time. Like, Ocarina of Time, it was like an every year thing. I had to do it at least once. Sometimes more than once. Like, it was just, story was good, gameplay was good, it was simple, you know, like, it was simple, but not in a bad way, you know, like, it was just very easy to understand what to do. The puzzles weren't overly hard, but still also challenging enough to where, especially if you took like a year or so off, you couldn't remember exactly what to do, you know. It wasn't like horrendously easy, where, you know, like, very nice balance is what I'm trying to say. It was a very well-balanced game, very well-paced game, and just music and all the temples really suited, you know, like, I'm having a nostalgia trip right now, which is very fitting. I'm having a nostalgia trip about Zelda while post-commentarying a Zelda game, so it's very fitting. You know, but it's just a great game all around. And to any of you guys that either somehow have an N64 and you've managed to find a copy of the old Zelda, I highly encourage you to play it. Or if you have a GameCube and you happen to manage to find the Zelda Collector's Edition that had Ocarina of Time on it, please play it. Or the more realistic approach nowadays, if you by any chance get that family that subscription with the Nintendo Switch that comes like with that N64 cloud thing, Ocarina of Time is on it. Highly encourage you. That game alone was probably worth the purchase asking price of that feature, because that game is just so nice to have. Just like I said, just play it. Like, seriously. Like, even if you have to dish out extra money the one time to go get the Nintendo expansion pack thing that they do that enables you to do the N64 games in the cloud, seriously, Ocarina of Time is worth it. At least for one playthrough. And of course you'll also get to play online for however long that subscription lasts, you know. So like I said, just it's very worth it. Fucking love the game. The only games in the Zelda franchise that come close to Ocarina of Time in terms of quality, in my opinion, is obviously this game, even though for completely different reasons, because this is more open world. It's not as linear as, you know, the old Zelda games, if that makes sense. But still good, though. Twilight Princess is up there. Midna was always amazing. You know, love Midna. Midna, best girl. Changed my mind. You know, and just... yeah, it was Ocarina of Time, this game, Twilight Princess, and I would even say Wind Waker. Wind Waker was pretty good, even though it could be a bit annoying with the fact it's on sea, and it was kind of open and bland. It's not as beautiful as, like, this game is, and the fact that searching for treasures underneath and just... like, Wind Waker is a very good game. Like, great story, great graphics, even the puzzles for some of the temples, like, you know, the tower, when you get all, like, I forget the exact temple it was, but it was like a big tower in the middle of the ocean. You had to get all the pearls. You know, that was, you know, and you get the Dominion Rod. Like, there were some really cool temples in that game, like, really cool. Like, it was a great game for the puzzle aspect. The puzzle aspect was great in that game. But just all the other stuff surrounding that was a little bit weaker, in my opinion. I mean, graphics were fairly good, but, you know, because it's Toon Link, right? You know, but, like, out of the Zelda, like, I haven't played all the Zelda games because there's way too many of them, and I'm not like that much of a hardcore avid fan where I've played all of them. There's a lot of them that I haven't played, but those are the ones that I've properly played. Is this game, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker. Those are the only ones that I played properly. And then I saw like some Let's Plays of Skyward Sword, which is amazing. Yeah. Love Skyward Sword. I wasn't a fan of the motion controls back in the day with the Wii, but I think they give you the option to remove them in the Switch version, so I do want to buy the Switch version and give it a proper go. But yeah, but the ones that I would recommend the most, this game, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess. Those are the main three. Maybe Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask was pretty good, but it wasn't as simple as and well balanced as Ocarina of Time, since it was basically Ocarina of Time's sequel. Like that game actually took me years to understand what the hell I was supposed to do with some of those temples. It literally took me years. As where Ocarina of Time took me, you know, I had to scratch my brain for maybe an hour or so for each temple. Like, you know, for certain sections, like I had to really think. Like, I did have to use my brain, but it wasn't, like, frustratingly long, you know? Like I said, good balance. But Majora's Mask is still a great game in its own right, just a little bit more difficult than what I would like. So, maybe that just means I suck at puzzles, I don't know. but yeah. Just... God, I need to... Oh god, so dude, I'm having a massive nostalgia trip on Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker and Majora's Mask. Like I'm having a massive nostalgia trip talking about it. Just so many, just the music and everything. I just love Zelda in general for the most part. Even though I haven't played all of the games, like I just love this franchise in general. I messed him up. Yeah. Yeah, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, maybe Majora's Mask if you like a bit more of a challenge on the puzzle aspect and stuff, because I think that's a bit more challenging than the others, I would say. But yeah, Twilight Princess, Twilight Princess was so good. Like, I wish they would bring that back. But that's probably the one thing that really annoys me about the Zelda games, and I think it's because, like, because I'm a nitpicker. But you know, they make games and then they place them all over this, you know, 3 split timeline, right? And they make the games out of order, you know. But it's like, but then with the games that come out after that game, they don't keep consistent with established, you know what I mean? Like I understand wanting to make a timeline and you know and all that, you know, for a beloved series. I get it. You know, and I also get that, you know, as technology gets better, you want to add more features and get a bit more crazy with it and make it cooler. Like I also get that, especially back in the day with the NES, like 8-bit. You couldn't do a whole lot then, and you can do a lot now. And you're wanting to place that game in this timeline, and you know, like I get it from like a gaming technical perspective that you were very limited, but from like but from a Zelda nerd, you know, but from a Zelda nerd perspective, you know, from a lore perspective, it's like, why can't I do some of this? You know what I mean? Like, why can't I? You know, like why would you introduce? Like, why would you make Skyward Sword? And Skyward Sword came out roughly 25 years after the first game, and it came out on the Wii. So you know, I forget exactly what year it came out, but it was, you know. But it's like, you know, you introduce the Skyward Strike, you introduce, you know, the voice and the sword, but then you barely ever bring it up in any of the future games that you've made after that. Like I would love for you to, like, expand on that more. Like, I get in older games, whether it be because of the limited tech and RAM and blah blah blah, especially since you're going to design a game for console and having to make the game run on those specs, like, I get it. But it's like, you know, each console gets better, more RAM, more processing speed, so you can do more, you know, while still doing the old things, at least to a point. And it's like, I would love for them to have a scene where Fi from Skyward Sword literally just in the middle of the game, in like the middle of a cutscene on Breath of the Wild, just came out. Or the sword just started sparking, you know, well, not sparking, but like flashing as she talked. Like, you know, what's the point of introducing that in the game that, you know, 25 years later after the original game came out on the NES, placing this game at the beginning of the timeline and introducing this, but then in all the future games since then, you don't even acknowledge it, really. Like, the only time they really acknowledge it in Breath of the Wild, the only time I've seen it acknowledged anywhere since Skyward Sword is this game, and it's only for a brief moment. So that's the thing that I'm not getting. And for those of you that are wondering why I'm showing this, this is a shrine quest, and you get the blessing. And I know that and I realize now, I know I'm going on a tangent, but there's certain shrines where I did the shrine quest puzzle, but the puzzle was so easy it wasn't worth showing. Like the one in Lineru Bay, you know, where you gotta break the rocks to get the wind funnel and then you land on the platform. That's easy. You know, the Thunder Plains, where you gotta put the 4 giant orbs, and you know that's yeah. So a good amount of the shrine quests that I kind of left out and just went straight for the blessings. But this is a bit challenging and thought was fun to show. But anyway. But anyway, that tangent aside, you know, it'd be nice. Like hell, I would love for Nintendo to just remake all the older games like Ocarina of Time on like their new engine that they're using for Breath of the Wild, right? Just remake all of them and just change a few things, you know, to accommodate, you know, these additions to the lore, because every gamer understands, you know, especially if your games are primarily for console, you know, you're limited by your specs, like I said, right? And a lot of us understand that you're limited in what you can do, and then you start getting expansive and bigger and bolder with the newer iteration of consoles, right? Like, we get it. But it's like, some consistency would be nice, and like, I would love for them to remake Ocarina of Time, where like, you know, like even like just something stupid, like they remake Ocarina of Time, like a full-blown remake, and have it look like this, right? Maybe update the gameplay a little bit, just a touch, add some flurry rushes, you know, just modernize it a little bit, right? But keep the core story and everything intact, right? And just have like a minute scene where Fee starts talking, you know, and it's like trying to give you hints, and then Navi, you know, is like, no, that's my job. What do you know? And they have like a mini fight or something. You know what I mean? Like, even for a minute, just acknowledging that's a thing, that she is still there. She just, you know, like proper acknowledgement. I don't know. Like I said, there's all these additions that they made in the lore, like way after the original game, that takes place way late in the timeline, at least in one of the timelines. You know, it's just, yeah. I don't know, maybe it's just me nitpicking, or just because I really enjoyed the Zelda franchise and I see the flaws in their lore, which I understand because of situations that I've said, but it would still be nice for them to kind of address that and be like, and you know, make one big Zelda release where they just remake all of the games, and even if they release them one by one, just like remake all of them and just touch on these things and be like, okay, Skyward Sword's at the very beginning of the timeline, and we need to be able to account for all these mechanics, like the Skyward Strike, and since we've explained it in the lore, and you know, and be able to add certain things that should be universal across all games because of the lore. Like the Skyward Strike should be in all the games, even if you change it, you know, a little bit here and there and do slightly different tweaks, you know, that are game specific. That would still be freaking cool. Like, do any of you Zelda fans agree with me? You know, like, wouldn't that be really cool to do that? Just like a mass remake where they, you know, address all the problems with the lore because of, you know, like, I don't know. I know, I'm probably rambling, but like, it's just, oh my god, that'd be so amazing. Hello, Hetsu, how you doing? Always a pleasure. Oh, this one, the stealth one, this one always annoys me. But yeah, I'm sorry if I rambled a bit too much about that. It's just, I'm very passionate about it because like I like the lore, you know, I like the franchise, and I'm sure all of you have at least one series or whatever that you're like mega passionate about, you know, where you just geek out and nerd out, especially over little things like that, you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I stealth jumped over a little bit of the tree there, like the little lump on the side, and it made me come out of stealth mode. Sometimes the stealth mode mechanic does that, and it's annoying, but it happens. So, and I've obviously sped this up to accommodate, you know, I probably could have sped it up a bit faster now that I think about it, but I didn't want to speed it up too terribly much because it is still part, you know, it is still a shrine quest, one that's important to know how to do. It's not like a super simple, like, oh, you'd do it in like a minute, you know, puzzle like some of the other ones I addressed earlier, so. But yeah, again, I'm sorry I was rambling about that Zelda stuff. It was just, like I said, it would be amazing to have. Yeah. Halfway there, let's go. You gotta be careful, obviously, of him. I had one time on normal mode where I tried to do this, and like he was about halfway through that field up there in the front, and then all of a sudden he turned around and just ran at me. Because I guess he somehow managed to barely hear me, and he just ran at me. It was super annoying. Yeah, see right there, but then he ran backwards. Yeah, see right there. And I didn't know that. And of course, I'm in stealth mode. I can't just run, so plus, yeah, I don't know. It was a bit annoying, but it happens. I can't wait to get Skyward Sword. I don't know when I'm gonna get it on Switch, but I will, and I probably will do a Let's Play on it. I don't know when. If I will, but I think I will, because it would be really cool to do that. I would love to do that. Yeah. 42 out of the 116 shrines I can do. Notice how I said 116 instead of 120. That's... You'll see later. One more left. And then I can get the Master Sword. I left these 3 last specifically so that way I didn't have to go search for shrines out in the world. I left these 3 trials so that way once I got the 9, I could come back here and get the final 3. And it would just be easy. I didn't have to search. Yeah, I was being kind of stupid there, not gonna lie. Yeah, I, for some reason, didn't realize what I was doing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've only done one playthrough of the game, to be fair. So... And that was on normal mode, and this is my second playthrough, so there's a lot that I don't remember very well. Coming towards the end of the video, but we still got a Master Sword to pull. And then, like, 2 things after that, but, you know. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And now, it is time. All that work, all them hours, has led to this moment. I just realized you could hear that in the background. I'm sorry, probably should have muted my mic for that cutscene, but oh well. Damn. I think I skipped that without meaning to. Or maybe I did at the time, I don't know. But we got it. We don't care, Great Deku Tree, we don't care. We got it. Yep. And then we jump to this quest because you have to leave the Korok Forest before it'll trigger the before you can do the Trial of the Sword. You have to leave the forest, and then they'll tell you, oh, if you come back, you can do it, you know, so blah. But I figured I might as well take the opportunity to do this quest now that I did, because I realized, because you know how in order to do this quest to get this shrine, you have to go help the people of Kakariko. I helped everyone early game, like the very first visit, except for the Firefly lady, because I guess I had to do a lot of stuff later. And I neglected to go to Hateno Village, which is what I think I need to do for the longest time. Not thinking, I guess. So... And then so that's where I teleported after I got the sword. Went to Kakariko, did the one last thing, and then I just did this whole quest and blah blah blah. Okay, after we get the spirit orb up here, like I told you earlier, it's gonna be all the clips from when I did live commentary trying to do the Trials of the Sword, which didn't go very well. So I'm just going to do my outro right now, and hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed my banter about Zelda, and I will see you later, and enjoy the live commentary pseudo-rage that you're about to experience. Enjoy. No! No! Fuck. I'm, wow, what? I wasn't, I don't, what do you mean? Die already. Oh, damn it. What? I don't, like, it doesn't even stun him. Like, God, I hate Master Mode.